want to say that the randomizer picks my team. You guys really enjoyed that part 2. I am going to make a part 3 on that video. Maybe next week or something like that, doing it all-time lineups. And then the day before that, you guys really liked that video, the tier listing, which for some reason I was finding myself watching a lot of tier listing videos. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make another one. But I did that. You guys really liked it, and I am going to make a GOAT all-time legends tier list, which is probably gonna be again people criticizing it for some reason. I don't know. It's just this is for fun. This is for entertainment, relaxation, whatever you get out of it. Let's all be chill. Let's all be chill. Anyways, make sure you guys give a like on that video. And yeah, make sure to like this video as well. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 6K. Very, very, very funny. 6,000, 6K subscribers. That's so crazy. Yeah, I guess we can finally jump right into tonight's video. Also, if you probably can't tell by the time limit on this video, it's going to be very short. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget. My camera was charging, and then apparently it stopped charging. So this video is going to be very short because I really don't have a lot of battery on it right now. So I'm probably gonna make this one a little bit shorter than usual. So I do apologize for that. But anyways, this article is called "Young NBA Players Ready for a Trade at the Deadline." So again, that's pretty interesting. These players, again, could be, you know, stars in the NBA in the right situation. Maybe they could just be better than what they are. Maybe they just need, again, a change of scenery. We'll just have to see and discuss that. So, the first one they list on here, and one I very much do agree with, and I've been saying for a long time, on the Orlando Magic, you can probably guess it just based off that, is Mo Bamba. 10,000% yes. They're making this guy look like he's a bad player, which he is decent. He's good. He's obviously a young player with not a lot of playing time in the NBA, which obviously is going to be hindering him a lot. I'm sure he gets a lot of chances to play. Obviously I don't really watch a lot of Orlando Magic basketball, but from what I've seen, he's decent. Could he be better? Absolutely. Could he be used better? Absolutely. I think if a younger team who needed a center, a growing team that needed a good defensive center, brought him in, would be immensely better than what he is right now. Like, I don't know, the Kings seem like they always need a center. They were playing Bagley for a while. They do have a Son Whiteside now, but obviously, future-wise, you'd rather have Mo Bamba. Just other teams that really just need a center, and a center for the future, something to build off of, kind of like how Jared Allen got traded from the Nets to the Cavs. You know, the Cavs were building towards the future. They got Jared Allen now. That's awesome. And he's definitely was one of the ones on the list that I probably would have said if he didn't get traded was definitely Jared Allen, because that dude is way too talented and special to just constantly be coming off the bench when I think he's definitely deserving of an NBA starting role, and I don't think he does yet, but he will, because obviously Andre Drummond is going to get traded, so he's going to take that starting role spot, which is really good for a scenario. But number 2 here, they have Jarrett Culver from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jarrett Culver, wow. Why? It says here, since the Minnesota Timberwolves drafted Jarrett Culver, the team added D'Angelo Russell and selected Anthony Edwards at the number 1 overall pick. Malik Beasley developed into 20-point scorer, and watched 2019 second-round pick Jalen Noel outproduce its lottery pick. I guess they're saying he's kind of like the odd man out on the team, which is pretty bad. It says here he's also 9th on the team's touches per game. Wow. The only sort of, I guess, recollection of how he's being used is really on 2K. When I see him on 2K a lot, I think he was almost an 80 overall last year. At the beginning of last year, he was like a 78, 77 overall player. He was looking good. Now, if you look on 2K, that dude is like probably like a 72 overall. So I do think he definitely has the potential to be a very good player, very good, like a 3-and-D type player. He's very lengthy, a good big size forward for sure, for a small forward or even a bigger guard. I think he could play that role very well. But wondering. I think that was just a bad play style. Obviously, if you play through Jericho, I'm sure he could throw up 20, 30 point games to left, right, and center. But when you have a star like Carly Towns and a very good player in D'Angelo Russell, you have your future player also in Anthony Edwards, and then Malik Beasley, who's, I would have thought he would be a walking bucket like he's been recently. He is going to be the odd man out, so, ooh, Kevin Knox, yeah, I think Kevin Knox for sure. I think the rookie year of Kevin Knox was really good, and it's definitely hard to think where he could have been. Obviously, with how well that team is doing now, and he's still not getting a whole lot of playing time. I'm definitely gonna look it up right now, but with the sort of future plans I know the Knicks have, obviously with trying to sign a new big time free agent, is definitely their big time thing. Like he went from averaging 13 points per game to 6 points per game to now barely 5 points per game. That's crazy. He was averaging almost 30 minutes a game though his rookie year, and then 17 minutes, and then now barely 16 minutes a game. So you can tell, obviously, it definitely does depend on usage. Now, if you look at his field goal percentage, he went from shooting 34% to now this year averaging 37%. So it's not like he's not being inconsistent now. He is only a 39% field goal percentage this year, which is not the greatest. Especially if you're not getting a lot of shots up, you definitely need to make the shots that you're given if you're that player, and it seems like he's not. He's only literally making 1.9 field goals a game. That's really bad. That's not good at all. His free throw percentage is good. Like, I don't know. It is kind of crazy. I think he's still just a very young player who doesn't really know a lot. No offense, but definitely a player that needs a little bit more playing time. I think his rookie year he did pretty good. Like, he played pretty good. He looked like he could be at least a piece to this New York Knicks puzzle, but now it looks like he's going to be the odd man out and be traded if the time comes for the Knicks to make an offer for a superstar or a better all-star type player. They also have Frank Nicodela on here as well from the Knicks. Wow, Knicks are on here twice. I can definitely see that happening now, obviously because of Emmanuel quickly. RJ can't play the one or the two. They also have Elfrid Payton, which I don't know if they're that big on Elfrid Payton, but Frank Nicodela, I guess. Oh, and they have Derrick Rose now. Oh, you know what? I think he is the odd man out now because you have Derrick Rose, the veteran, Emmanuel quickly, the young aspiring player. I think Frank might actually be the odd man out, which could be pretty sucky. Yeah, he's only averaged 5.9, 5.7, 6.3, nothing super crazy. 3-point percentages are all barely at 30. Oh man, I don't know. He's almost averaging 1 steal a game though, which is pretty nice for a guard. He is just sort of that scrappier, bigger guard. You know what I mean? To be defender, he's a 6'4" point guard, which is good for today's NBA. So, I think definitely now with Emmanuel quickly and Derrick Rose, he is the odd man out, and I would love to see him on another team again. A team that needs a rebuilding guard, a player just to come off the bench to be a key role player, I guess, because he can play, good minutes on a team. But I think with the Knicks, I think they're probably going to keep Derrick Rose for a while, and then obviously with Emmanuel quickly might be their future goal, or again, free agent destination for New York. Hopefully they snag someone. Ooh, okay. Michael Porter Jr. Wow, do I agree with that? That's really risky. I actually have to check. I mean, me personally, I'm going to say no, because I do think the Denver Nuggets, even though Jokic and Jamal Murray may seem like they've been together for a while, which I guess they technically have been, they're still a pretty young team in my opinion. I think they could still, I don't want to say sacrifice, but they could definitely take another year or two to really see the development of Michael Porter Jr. come into play and see how that goes. Right now he's averaging 14 points per game, 6 rebounds. That's not bad. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to take him a little bit more time. His efficiency isn't really all there. He's averaging, 5 who's 6'10", very lengthy, very quick, very good shooting form. It looks like he can hit threes pretty well and very efficient as well. It just depends on if you want to, trade that potential for an already established player. I know a lot of people have been talking about DeMar DeRozan being on the Denver Nuggets, the Utah Jazz, the Miami Heat, just like a go-to bucket getter guy. I think you could increase your odds of winning a title this year, but then again, like, dude, you have the Nets and the Lakers are still amazing, and the Bucks are still not going anywhere, and things like that. I don't think we're really trading away that potential future of a really good all-star who's kind of like an all-around player for DeMar DeRozan for like a year, and then he's a free agent, and then you have no idea what's going to happen after that. So I say keep. I think he's still a very good starter right now for that team, but I guess it's up in the air with what you want to do. Oh, well, I don't know if I should even talk about this one, but he is a young player in a bad situation. John Collins. I think that one is pretty obvious. I do think, yes, John Collins is a player you should trade. This definitely seems like something more than just a basketball. Obviously, the basketball side of things, John Collins is a very good player. Like, I know his numbers this season don't really tell the tale of how John Collins is. Last season, John Collins played very well, and it seems like everything was pretty okay by then, but we all know this season of what happened, sort of like the news about him sort of not necessarily telling the team off or Trae Young off, but just suggesting that, hey, we need more ball movement, we need guys to get more touches, we need more this, we need more that, and apparently the franchise didn't like that or something, they didn't agree. So with that whole ordeal going on, I guess he wants out, and it's not reported by him, it's reported by everyone else around the team, and it seems like they keep coming out with, we're looking for offers for John Collins, we're hearing offers for John Collins, and I think just with that, on a young team can be pretty toxic. I'm not saying he is toxic, but that sort of fiasco was pretty toxic. I mean, you can hear interviews from the Laker guys, Lonzo Ingram, Josh Hart, those guys talked about their experience with that whole side of the NBA, with the Anthony Davis trade, and constantly being like trade dogs and free agent stuff, not free agent stuff, your agent calling you all the time and always being anxious about where you're going to be, where you're going to go. That's not a good feeling. So I think you should just get it done and get it over with, go somewhere else, have a new start, and sort of get back to the way he was playing. He's averaging 18 points per game now, which is good, but last season he was averaging 21.6 points per game. Like, that's a pretty big drop off, and not a lot of he's averaging 2 less minutes per game this year. So you would think you'd just keep getting better and better, but it seems like that's not really happening, and that may be due to his situation. So can you trade him to? I mean, I suggested it's probably a stupid one, but Gary Trent Jr. from Portland to the Atlanta Hawks. Portland needs a forward. Atlanta needs a better 2-guard, I guess, for a future sense to build around, and they're both looking pretty good. You could do John Collins for. I mean, their small forward position is pretty stacked with Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. I think a 2-guard is really what they need. In my opinion, I think center Clayton's a pretty young player. They have a Nike at the 4, who's pretty young. So I think definitely getting a 2-guard is their goal. And I think if you can get that sort of next building block 2-guard for John Collins, who seems like he already is pretty uninterested in playing for that team, I say you do it. And I've said it before, and I'll say this again. John Collins can be one of the best power forwards in the NBA with the right sort of case scenario happening in maybe a couple more years. I think it'd be good for him. They have some that I don't really agree with, like Zach LaVine. I don't think that's anything wrong with Zach LaVine. I think that's just team success not being there. I think he's definitely fine being a Bull, and I think with the Bulls, you really just need to wait for that one guy to come along. That's literally all you need. You already have a pretty good team put together. You just need, again, like what Kawhi did in Toronto, what KD did in Golden State, or the Nets, I guess, technically, or this, that, or the other. You throw in a really good all-star type player, and boom, you guys are back in it. So I don't think that's really Zach LaVine's fault, and I don't think he needs to leave. Aaron Gordon, I don't think so. I think that's, again, team success just not being there all the way. Let's see. I'm trying to see some other ones for younger players. Marvin Bagley from the Sacramento Kings. My God. This one might actually just be because he's just not that good. Like, I don't mean to be, bad mouthing or anything like that, but I don't really think he's going to be anything better than what he is. Like, he's obviously a very good player, like, and he's still super young, so it's not like you're, like, saying he can't get better. I think he could, possibly, but I'm not really entirely sure. He's averaging 13 points per game, 7 rebounds, under 1 assist a game, so, he was definitely a player that maybe if you would have focused on him a little bit more, would have turned out completely different. I know for a long time Bagley was coming off the bench, not even playing. He was playing center some games. Like, I know if that was me, I would be very frustrated and feel like not getting used to my full potential. They're definitely doing a very good job on De'Aaron, which I'm very thankful for, that they got one player right, but they're totally missing out on the potential of another really good player that they could have had, but I think it's already done with. Could he go somewhere else and be better? I think yes, but he would have to go to the right team again. A team that's really known for developing good young talent, like a Spurs, Toronto, Portland, teams that are known for bringing up really good, players through their system, and I think that'd definitely be a good spot for him. I will agree that I think he should be traded. I think he definitely should be traded, because you probably could get some good assets back, and again, I think the Kings are starting to finally get their playoff juices flowing. I think they want to make a playoff appearance. I think De'Aaron is ready for that, and Buddy is still a good player. You could still make it happen. You have Harrison Barnes, Hassan Whiteside is a play now ready player. You could make a playoff push, especially being in that sort of play and spot for the playoffs, like the 10-9 seed. I think it's very possible. So